The leaves are turning colors, the weather is getting cooler, the days are getting shorter, and it's apple season. Hi, I'm Patty with Sleepy Glen Homestead. Today I'm going to bring you along because I'm making applesauce. We love homemade applesauce, and this is the easiest recipe you will ever have. So it's in the bulk canning book, so let's get in the house and let's get busy. Okay, so we're in the kitchen now, and inside of this pan I have my apples. I've washed them, and I'm using Honey Crisp and Crimson Crisp. And my Honey Crisp are really big, so I cut them because if not, then they're not going to get soft on the inside. So I've measured out 12 pounds. That's what the recipe in the bulk canning book calls for. 12 pounds of, it says peeled, cored, quartered, but I don't do that. I just stick them in here whole after I've washed them. And I've had them sitting on here for probably about a half an hour, just on sort of a medium heat, medium-high heat, because I had things to do and I didn't want to totally cook them. The idea is you want to get them soft enough where the skin is going to come off and you're going to be able to put it through your food mill, okay? In this pan, I have my pint-sized jars. They're wide mouth, and this is super important part, okay? After I've washed my jars in the dishwasher, I put them inside of here, and they've all got water in them. Now, it's not boiling, okay? It's just nice and warm. It continues the sanitizing process, plus it gets your jars hot. And we will be putting hot applesauce into the jars, okay? So, and in the back here, I've got my my canning lids. Again, they're just warm. I'm not cooking them. I'm just getting them warm because they are going to water bath can for 20 minutes. And I want to make sure that those bands on the lids are going to seal real good, okay? So our next step, now that my apples are ready, we're going to go over to my food mill. It's my Johnny applesauce maker, and I'm going to show you how I put them through the mill, and it will take out the peel, it'll take out the seeds, it'll take out the core. I don't even worry about taking off the cores here, okay? And you can see these are ready because it's kind of hot. Ooh, it's splitting. So those are ready to go. So let's move over to the table where I have my applesauce maker. Okay, I've got my applesauce maker all put together. This is just a funnel where I'm going to stick my apples in that are going to go down in here. And I'm going to crank the handle here to push them through. The applesauce is going to come out here, and the other stuff, the seeds, the peel, the core, everything is going to shoot out this side. Not shoot, but it's going to come out that side. And I've got a little dish over there to collect all of that, okay? And to show you what I'm using, it's a Johnny applesauce maker, model 250 food strainer. I got this off of Amazon. I think I paid probably, I don't know, $70 or $80. And it clamps to the table. So if you look, let me see if I can get you over there. If you look down here, it is clamped onto the table really solid. So it's not going anywhere. And I have a towel here just because I don't want to mark up my table. I've also got my I call it a ramrod, so I can just shove it all down in there. Okay, all right, let me get my apples on the table, and I will start showing you how I put the apples in and get it cranking, and I'll show you what it looks like as it's going through. Okay, I got the apples on the table, and let's throw a couple in and see how it goes. I'm just going to kind of give it a little mash just to break it up a little bit. Just makes it easier to push them through the hole. I'm not going to load this funnel up all the way. Right there, that's a crimson. And if I found out the last batch I did, if I didn't cut those in half because they're so much bigger than the crimson crisp, that I just had a really hard time and I had to cut them anyways. All right. Okay, let's see how this goes. I It's the applesauce coming. Okay, I'm draining the water off too. It doesn't matter if you get a little bit of water in there, but I'm just draining some of the water off. And you can see how beautiful the applesauce looks. Isn't that gorgeous? It got little shades of pink because the Crimson Crisp, you can see the little bit of red on the peel here. It just makes for a really beautiful applesauce. They recommend or suggest that you use a variety of apples. Look at this poor guy. He just got mutilated. He was at the bottom. Oh well. These are tart apples, and so these are tart apples, and we're going to be adding sugar to it. You don't have to add sugar to yours, but I'm just going to add the recommended amount of sugar. Ooh. And you can see I'm losing some over here. I don't know why that's happening, but that's okay. All right, I got to get that cleaned up and empty out that one. So I'm just going to scoop all this down in there. And there's, you know, a little bit of remnants, but you have that in the applesauce that you buy at the store too. You can't get it all. Okay, and I'm just going to pick that up. And I'm going to put this into my big pan. Okay, let's keep going. Keith and I got these apples at our local Amish community, and we only paid a very small amount for a bushel. The Honey Crisp was like $26 for a bushel, and the Crimson Crisp was about $22 a bushel. So I did half and half because I wanted a little bit of a variety. And I'll tell you what, this is my second batch. My first batch I did was, Keith wanted some little 4-ounce jars so that he can take them fishing with him. And so I did 2 dozen for him, plus I got 6 half pints. That was just in one 12-pound batch of applesauce that I did. So if you do this and you're afraid, you know, like, oh my gosh, how much am I going to get, or how much am I not going to get, you're going to get a lot of applesauce. And I've already got 8 jars in the canner right now, just warming up, and it's probably going to be 2 batches. So I'm probably going to get, 16 pint jars out of all this. But I'll let you know in the end how much I get. And we just keep going and going and going. Okay, I'll bring you back when I get this on the stove. I guess I should show you, when you're done putting all your apples through, you want to make sure you get all of this stuff, all your applesauce that's on the screen. So I am not left-handed, and I feel very awkward doing this, but I'm just going to try to get off as much of it as I can. And it's very easy to clean this screen, even though, oh, that's hot. Even though it looks like a mess, and it really kind of is a mess. But just do the best you can to get off as much of your applesauce as you can. And I think I'm going to call that good. Hats off to people who are left-handed. My son's left-handed, and I look at him sometimes and I'm like, how do you do that? That looks weird. But left-handed people are the only people in their right minds, right? Give me a thumbs up. Yay. Okay. And here's all my leftovers. So isn't that nice? And I'm just going to feed this stuff to the chickens because they love it a lot. All right, so this is how much applesauce it made. Now I have to add my lemon juice. So I've got 4 tablespoons of lemon juice. And the recipe calls for 3 cups of granulated sugar. And I'm going to add the full 3 cups because these are tart apples. You don't have to add any sugar if you don't want to. That is entirely up to you. But you can see, you know, you could just taste your applesauce and see if you like the way it tastes this way. Oh my wonder. No, my goodness. That is wonderful. But I'm going to sweeten ours up. So I'm just going to go for the full 3 cups. And I know this because I've done these apples before and I know how much I like to add. So let me find my favorite big spoon. Okay. Now you don't have to cook applesauce. Okay. You do have to get it warm enough to melt all this sugar into it. So I'm just going to mix, mix, mix. Okay. It's boiling. So I'm just going to keep stirring it up. I can see steam coming off of it now, which tells me that it's good and hot. You want to keep it hot while you're filling your jars. Okay. It's very, very important. So I'm going to let this sit for a second. Let's see how long it takes to bubble. Look at this, is so thick. My spoon stands up in it. This is the best applesauce, I'm telling you. If you have time to make applesauce and if you're adventurous, do it because you know it's going into your food. It's just lemon juice, apples, and sugar. That's it. You can use stevia. You can use raw organic sugar. Whatever sugar you use, just make your own applesauce. I'm telling you, folks. It is, look at how thick that is. It's beautiful. And I'm not adding any water to this because if you do, when you can your jars, it's going to separate and your water is going to be at the bottom. So you can see it's ready. So I'm going to turn my heat down to low now because I've gotten hit by this and it just really doesn't feel good. So I'm going to still keep it on the burner, but get it closer to where I'm going to be canning. Okay. I'm going to work in batches of 4 because that works good for me. I'm going to fill these up to 1/2 inch headspace. Okay. 1/2 inch, in case you don't know, if you like to eyeball things, it's this band right here, but not towards the top, like right here. It's going to be this band right here. Can you see that? That right there. But I have a measurer, which is really good for you to have. So if you have one of these handy dandy little things, it's going to be the second one. So I'm just going to stick it in like that, make sure that it's touching, okay? Okay, my ladle is all clean, and I need my funnel, and let's get filling. Now I'm probably going to overfill my jars a little bit. That's okay because I have a spoon to take some out. I don't want to come up short because you want your jars to be able to vent that air out while it's in the water bath, doing its little water bath thingy for 20 minutes, okay? Do you see how thick this is? This jar here? It still has the shape of the funnel in there. Okay, I got my jars filled now. I have to use my debubbler. This is just a plastic chopstick. I can tell you right now, this jar is too full. This jar is too full. And I'm sure this jar is going to be too full. But that's okay, because we can make adjustments. Okay, I'm going to stick this in. I'm going to say it's a little too full because it kind of got buried. So I'm just going to skim some of this off. And then sort of pat it down. Remeasure. That looks pretty good. This one here is definitely short, so I'm just going to add some sauce to it. Tap it down a little bit, kind of even it out. And that one is good. This one is a little too much. Okay. Let's check it again. That's good. This one here. If you see big chunks that you kind of get grossed out on, like that little chunk right there, I'm just going to take it out. That one needs a little bit more. That might have been too much. I can tell right now it's too much. And perfect. Okay. Next thing I want to do is I want to just clean my rims because I want to make sure when I put my lids on that there's no food. Plus, it gives me a second chance to check my jars for any nicks. And I did find a jar when I was pulling these out to wash them. I found a jar that was broken. And that doesn't happen very often for me. But it could happen. Ooh, these are hot. Okay, next I'm going to put my lids on. I don't know if any of you ever watch Old Alabama Gardener, Charles Hancock. Super nice man. He's no longer with us. He had a really great trick that he does. Like when you put your lids from the box inside the pan, they're all facing the same way. And then you go to pull them apart and they're stuck together. But he said, you know, layer one this way, one this way, one this way, one this way. So I do that, and you know what? They come out so easy. So thank you, Charles, wherever you're at, up there in heaven, for your little tidbits. Okay, there's that. Now, if you're new to canning, okay, you want fingertip tight. I'm gonna not crank down on it real hard, but I'm going to make sure that it's down on there, okay? If you do it too tight, the air won't be able to escape. If you do it too loose, everything's going to boil out. So you just want to make sure that you got your lid on real nice. And I've actually, you know, thought I cranked some of them down, and after I got my jars out of the canner and I waited till the next day, my lids just basically unscrewed. They were just, you know, because of all the boiling, it kind of, you know, rattles the bands off. Okay, so I'm going to put these in the canner and I'm going to get 4 more out. Okay, hold on.